Welcome back, everybody, to another Coach Chat with Coach Bess and Casey, our guest expert. All right, Casey, so I'm excited about our conversation today. We're going to talk about some very important business building training here, and it's pricing and programs. Question that a lot of coaches have asked us over the years: how do I know how to price my services? Do I need a program to even start work in this business? Let's start with the pricing, and I want to hear what you think about, or your experience about how you learned how to price.
Wow. Okay. So
I know it's a lot.
this might be a 2-hour little video. So pricing there's a lot of variables that go into pricing.
Yeah.
There's your own mindset. There is what you're trying to accomplish with the program you're trying to price. And so I could kind of go a lot of different directions. But I think the first thing I'll say is, let me just talk about what you're trying to accomplish with the program. Okay. So, for instance, my 10-day Eat Clean Challenge, which I've been leading since 2012, is $27. It is the reason it's priced so inexpensively is because it's my gateway program, really. It's the program that brings people into my space so they can see how I operate, what I offer, where I teach, how I teach, my philosophy on health. So it's not my VIP high dollar program. It's right. Really to bring people in. And so that's why it's always been my low price program, even though I should, based on the materials that people get and my time with that program, I should be pricing that at hundreds of dollars. But I don't because of why I'm using that program.
Right.
But then I've got some other programs that I offer, either one-on-one coaching or group coaching, and the pricing on those is different, and it depends on the variables that go into the programs. Are they getting private coaching during this, maybe during the group coaching program? How many weeks are they? What kind of materials are they getting? All of those things go into the decision-making process of pricing. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing is the mindset part. And often what I see most coaches doing is undercharging. And so I think my warning to you is to not undercharge, because truly, and I was talking to Bess about this earlier, truly you're not pricing a program. What you're doing is pricing your time, your coaching, to help them create a complete transformation. You are changing their life. Yes. And so when you approach your program from that posture and from that confidence, then pricing it becomes a little bit different, because you're not pricing, you're getting all these PDFs, or you're getting this phone call, or you're pricing what you're actually how you're actually transforming that client. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or am I? Yeah.
No, that's exactly right.
Yeah. So, and then the other piece that goes into pricing is prayer. As faith-based health coaches, of course, God is right in the middle of our businesses and in what we do with our clients, but he's also right in the middle of our pricing. And so I always get into prayer with God when I'm trying to price a program, and I'll wrestle between a few price points, and then I'll feel one that I'm like, that's the one. Yes. That's where it needs to be. And that's where I feel really confident in sharing that price point. I know that I can talk about it with confidence. I know that they will feel like they've gotten so much for such a little price, even if it's $6.97 or whatever, that they will feel like they've gotten their money's worth and way more. And so when you're thinking about pricing, think about how you feel when you say the number. Can it roll off your tongue in a really easy, confident way, or are you stumbling all over yourself? But also, if you're pricing something and you're pricing it too low, you'll feel that as well. You'll feel kind of like, ooh, now I feel like I'm giving away all my time, and now I've got a chip on my shoulder, and all these people are taking everything from me. And when you feel that way, then you aren't able to coach from your most powerful place, because you'll always feel like I'm giving away too much of my time, and all these people are wanting everything, so you got to be careful with that. So there's no real easy, in my opinion. Maybe you've got a real short, simple answer, but from my perspective, there's no real easy do this and you'll be great.
Yeah. And I'm with you totally on, this is a personal decision between each coach and their CEO,
Yep.
God, on where they're comfortable with the pricing. It's also personal to where do you live and what part of the population are you trying to reach? I was sharing with Casey that in my earlier days, well, actually just recently even, I've always had a sliding scale option. And I don't advertise that. I don't make that huge public knowledge, but my referral base has gotten the word out that Bess will do sliding scale. And what I mean is I have a minimum price point because I do live in an area with a lot of retirees. We're a snowbird town here in Arizona. I live in an area with a lot of struggling families, single moms struggling, people struggling, getting assistance. So because of the socioeconomic area I'm in, and if I'm reaching people locally, I have to be sensitive to that. So I have a sliding scale in place, and I have a minimum, and I have my desired price as a coach, but I do have a minimum for those situations. And Casey mentioned this when we were talking privately. She also does payment plans. We have payment plans for the people who might be limited, but still want to do this, but they're limited in, I can't just plop down 5, 6, 8, 900 right now. So I think just staying flexible and having, if you are going to have payment plans or a sliding scale in place, you still need to have a minimum, because Casey brought up a really important point. Do not accept a payment that's so low or so not realistic for you that you feel bitter or you start to grow resentful that you've given yourself away at that rate. We will always have, as coaches, I think it's really important that we have free places to serve people this much.
Yes.
We serve them this much, and we reserve the rest of it for when they're able to make an investment at whatever level that is. Like Casey mentioned, her top of her funnel, her challenge is her draw. It's where she meets people. They get to share her space. They get to know her perspective. And if it's something they want to do, that's going to be cheaper. So if we have those places to put people, now we've given them a way to get a little more from us, and then they're moving at an investment rate that's comfortable for them, and we can be comfortable with what we put in place to charge them.
Exactly. And you teach the funnel system so well. And that really does serve everyone where they need to be served.
Yes. And then we're not leaving them. We're not leaving them behind.
Right.
We're serving, but we're not getting bitter or resentful because I'm giving $997 service for $27. We can't do that. Exactly. So Casey and I both teach on this, and I just was telling Casey, I just finished a brand new training in our academy. We spend almost an entire chapter on this topic alone because it's really that important. So just know that we have in-depth training on this inside of our academy in the manual, and because it's a very in-depth topic. We can't cover it all here on a quick coach chat, but Casey, I think you've given us tons of insight, and you've given us gold here today to work off of as coaches go to build their funnel, or we call it the mission map, and draw in the people there to serve, and then price accordingly. I'm going to reserve the program conversation for the next coach chat where we talk about business building, because it's too big of a topic. We're not going to be able to crowd it in here today. So we'll be back, y'all. We've got lots more coming. Be blessed, everybody. See you next week.